Let's go straight out to Barcelona. We've got Amir Efrati on the phone. He's at the the Mobile World Congress. Words fuddled a bit there. Why did Google build a firewall between Android and Motorola? Explain that to us.
As you know, Google purchased Motorola Mobility, the handset maker. They make phones, they make cable set-top boxes, all sorts of devices. They agreed to purchase this company last year. The deal is about to close. Once it closes, that means Google not only makes the Android software for mobile devices, but will now have a device maker to actually produce devices that are built around Google's Android software. When this deal was announced, this was kind of controversial because up till now, Google did not have the ability to actually manufacture the hardware, and it had always licensed Android essentially for free to other hardware makers like Samsung, HTC, LG, you name it. And so this acquisition is seen as sort of potentially disrupting that ecosystem. So Google has had to reassure everyone in the ecosystem, all the hardware makers, we're not going to play favorites once we have Motorola. We're not going to give them better software, better Android software, just because we own them as well. So they're really having to fight this perception.
Hey, Amir, it's Spencer in New York. You know, this is pretty interesting. I'm just wondering, have you heard any reaction from the device makers about this firewall, and if they believe that it addresses their concerns about getting favoritism between Google and Motorola Mobility?
Well, Andy Rubin, the chief of Android, just made this comment today, and I think he's basically been in touch with the hardware makers since the deal was announced. There's definitely kind of murmurings behind the scenes about this when you ask people in the industry, but publicly and on the outside, I'm here at Barcelona at Mobile World Congress, and it's all about Android. Every hardware manufacturer has an Android statue visible, and they're all building new devices. Samsung just introduced the Galaxy Note, and they're heavily promoting it here. So right now, we're not really seeing the effects of this controversial decision to buy Motorola, and in fact, all of the hardware manufacturers have said that they do understand that because Apple, Microsoft, and other rivals of Android are suing the hardware manufacturers for using Android for patent infringement, that Google having Motorola and having all of Motorola's patent portfolio could potentially protect them as well. So that is one of the considerations, and Google has talked a lot about that.
Just taking that a step forward, having the patents doesn't necessarily mean you have to manufacture handsets, though, does it? I mean, you just don't, you just keep them in a drawer.
No, for sure. And look, I think Motorola has many interesting assets for Google. It's definitely going to change the financial complexion of Google. It's a totally different business. But Google has many ambitions. It does want to create the best mobile devices, and one of the motivations of buying them is the ability to control not only the software, Android, which they've created for several years, but also hardware. And there's this belief among many in the market that if you control both the hardware and the software, you can create a better device. Also, Motorola has a massive cable set-top box business. Google is all about trying to get the internet connected to the television, and if they can if they can basically make sure that all these cable set-top boxes that are going out into the world are internet connected, that's another way that Google benefits.
Amir, my initial take on this is I think it's a good step in the right direction, but I don't think it's going to answer all of the concerns of the device makers. What's your final take on it?
We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. Nobody is willing yet to say anything overtly negative about this move. I think everyone's waiting and watching. We'll see when this deal closes what begins to happen in next year, whether Mobile World Congress will see all these Android statues everywhere, or whether people are going to be thinking about alternatives. Right now, it doesn't seem that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think this firewall has got to be impenetrable to make people happy, but we'll see. We'll see. Thank you very much. Amir Efrati of the Wall Street Journal coming to us live on the phone from Barcelona at the Mobile World Congress. Thank you very much.